Hello, good morning, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are well, or as well as you can be, given the fact that it is 2021 and we are still out here surviving. But I hope you are well. And I'm just coming on here quickly because we have a very, very, very powerful new moon tomorrow. And I kind of wanted to do my thing, talk a little bit about what's going on, how to work alongside it, all of the things. If you tuned into my 111 Reiki meditation talk that I did with Just Be Inspired yesterday, then some of this information is going to overlap, especially the cards that I pulled, because they are insane cards and I definitely have to share them because they're so in alignment with what the energy is right now. But if you didn't, or if you just want some more insight on what this astrological weather is looking like, then you can tune in. But my name is Jasmine Kylene. I'm a spiritual counselor, conscious media journalist, girl having a good time and talking out loud. And I'm so excited that you are joining me and that you are open to learning a bit about the cosmos. On this account, I always post, if you're watching this on IG, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, so grateful to have you. On this account, I always post journaling prompts that I would highly encourage you guys to work with. I'll mention some in this talk today though, but now is going to be a really, really powerful time to really put pen to paper and not only just put down on paper what you see for yourself and the goals that you're walking towards, but also just putting your feelings and your emotions out there, really journaling the way journaling is meant to happen. So let's get into what's going on. Tomorrow, the 13th of January, I believe at like midnight on the dot, is the very first new moon of 2021. So I know, obviously, if you study astrology, you know that we celebrate the new new year, typically during like the spring equinox, like March. But what I will say is that if you are someone who in the beginning of the year really wants to have that mark of like new year, new me, new career, new reality, new all of the things, aside from obviously January 1st, this first new moon is really going to be an immediate fresh start. And it is such fresh soil for manifesting. It is such fresh soil for setting seeds of intention and really pouring into them what you have and what is, we'll get into it because there's a lot. But what I want to first say is that this first new moon is in the sign of Capricorn, right? So Capricorn is an earth sign and it is very much in alignment with what is tangible, career, advancement, and the culmination of financial abundance, security, and just what you're spending your time doing in a productive manner, right? So what society's definition of productivity and what your definition of productivity may vary, and it's good. It's good that you honor what your personal definition is, but Capricorn is very much in alignment with like, how am I exerting my energy and what am I getting in exchange for that? So this is going to be a very, very, very beautiful time to set intentions on what you see for yourself in terms of career, hobbies, jobs, advancement in those areas, right? And just cultivating money and feeling worthy of money. I feel like there's such a negative connotation, especially in the spiritual community, with wanting financial security and being able to put a price tag on the things that you do. Hi, thank you for joining. But being able to be intentional with like, no, this is how I'm exerting my energy. This is my gifts of service and I deserve money for it. This new moon is all super supportive of really like putting those intentions on paper. So what I will say, what is very much in alignment, and also what I put up as the journaling prompt for this week is, what are the small steps that you can take towards the larger picture, right? Because I think we can get overwhelmed with what we see for ourselves and think that we need to figure out right now how we're going to paint this like Monet painting for ourselves. Hi, but it's very important that we realize that we are small human beings and that we work better when we don't overwhelm ourselves and when we take one step at a time and we keep those steps manageable. We saw Mars take its last steps out of the sign of Aries, and that manifested in a lot of like riots, and I think we all saw how that collectively showed up because Mars and Aries, and it's in its home sign, so it's very argumentative, it's war, it's passion. But now that it's stepped into a sign of Taurus, right? Taurus works very, very differently. Taurus is about taking your time getting there, enjoying the journey, right? And I think that's a really important life lesson. I think that's a really good way to abide by life. It's not waiting until you get the thing or you conquer the goal or you become that version of you in order to celebrate, in order to enjoy, in order to sit down and feel relieved. Mars and Taurus is more so like knowing that, that's there, that's at the end. I know what I'm walking towards, but I'm going to make sure that my journey there is on like a first class ticket, like the best possible train, enjoying the luxury, enjoying the sights, sipping the smells and tasting the teas. You know what I mean? Like really just enjoying the journey there and being intentional with the steps that you take there, working smarter, not harder, right? So with this new moon in Capricorn being alongside this Mars and Taurus shift, it's really like, how can I just, if I one day see myself as a New York Times bestseller, instead of overwhelming myself with like, I need to get this book done now, how do I just instead step into a place where I say, okay, I'm going to write a paragraph a day, and then I'm going to take some time to play afterwards. I'm going to take some time to like enjoy the fruits of the labor that I've already sown. You know what I mean? So just really being more intentional with the energy that you are exerting. What's also really important about this lunar transit is that it is conjunct, the sun and moon are conjunct Pluto, right? Pluto is the planet of transformation, of rebirth, of what is hidden, the subconscious. So this is a really, really powerful energy to work with if you want total transformation, right? So I think that we sort of stepped into 2021 naively expecting an immediate and all-encompassing shift, and we were met and humbly met with the reality that we're still kind of in this. And so what I will say is that these past 2 weeks have been a lot having to do with like revealing of truth from people outside of you, maybe even things you hadn't admitted to yourself, that you were finally stepping into a place where you're able to admit them to yourself, really coming face to face with reality. Which has been hard and heavy. This first week of January and this first week of 2021 was a bit heavy, but it is through this reveal of truth, it is through this newfound clarity that we can now allow ourselves to pivot, allow our minds to change, allow time and choice to be malleable, right? I think we get really attached to people or to places or to plans or to outcome. And when the universe kind of shifts things, when the universe takes things away, when the universe illuminates certain things, it's because there is a grander scheme that you need to just surrender to. So now that we have newfound clarity on maybe certain insights, certain things that we are allowing to perpetuate, certain relationships that no longer are serving us, now we can step into a place of, okay, how am I going to pivot a bit? And how am I going to allow this total transformation? How am I going to step into this new way of self? How am I going to allow this new plan to unfold? And like I was saying earlier, and we talked about this yesterday with Jess, we get really attached to outcome, and we can at times not allow ourselves to pivot because we are, we don't want to disappoint people, or we're people pleasing, or we don't want to deviate from the plan because this was a plan that I made when I was, and it's okay for things to shift. It's okay for things to look different, because wherever you end up is going to be so much better than you could have ever planned. We create our realities with our choices, yes, but it's important to remember that we are the co-creators, right? So there are certain parts that are out of our control, and if we surrender those parts, we'll find that what ends up ensuing is so much better than what we ever planned. So if there's any heaviness that's been carried out through these past 2 weeks of really like coming face to face with fears, face to face with betrayal, face to face with things that we have somehow fallen apart or pivoted, know that it is for the greater scheme of things. And with Pluto playing such a grand role in this lunar transit, like really set the intention to step into a reality that is honoring your soul's desires and yours, not anybody else's, right? And really coming to terms with the fact that you are deserving of this reality. Nobody is superior. Like any goal that you see for yourself is completely within your reach as long as you are walking towards it in alignment and making your choices in alignment with those ideals. So the last thing that I want to say, because I had things written down. So Mars, Pluto, reveal of truth, Mercury square Uranus. So there may be some shocking developments that happen this week, and that's okay. I mean, how we see it play out on a collective level, that's on them. You can't allow your energy to be drained by it, but how it plays out on a personal level, that is more within your control. So reacting, just letting go of any attachment to outcome, of any attachment to people, relationship, and just letting everything flow and unfold just as it's meaning to and as it is going to be the best way to survive this. And like I said, just be really, really intentional with this new moon on Wednesday, making sure that you are writing down your intentions, getting clear on what those little micro steps are, and making them tangible, right? Because, and that's one of the journaling prompts. One of the prompts that I'll already share is, what are my large goals and what are the micro steps that I can take now? And then the one after that is, what does my daily routine need to support this evolution, right? So now that we are getting clear on like, okay, this is what I want for myself. I'm letting go of waiting until I get there in order to be happy. I'm letting go of how I think it's going to play out. I'm letting go of my attachment to plan and my attachment to exactly what it, like, just I know what it is that I want, and I'm going to walk towards it, allowing whatever happens along the way to happen and smelling the flowers and taking in the sunsets on the journey, right? But as far as the steps that you're taking, making sure that they are tangible, that they are manageable, and that you're honoring them, right? So if you do think you want to one day write multiple books and make it on the New York Times bestseller, okay, I can start writing chapters. Okay, how can I actually schedule in daily to write a paragraph? Like, how can I actually make sure that I am honoring myself and stepping into the role of the co-creator, right? And a couple other journaling prompts that I want to share with you. What has come to my attention this week that needs to be released or revised? And how can I be more flexible with outcome? What are you holding on to that just does not need to be held so tightly? Loosen your grip a little bit, loosen control. And just really allow those that you are co-creating with, the universe, God, your angels, your ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in, the elements, the trees, how can you let them handle that part? Let them handle like the how. Just focus on the why and focus on how can you honor the why right now, if that makes sense. I hope that I'm not speaking too convoluted because that does happen quite often. But yeah, see the big picture and plant the small steps forward. However you want to honor this new moon is totally individual, but if you want to write them down, if you want to journal on them, if you want to speak them amongst a group that is safe and sacred, yeah, totally, absolutely, then that would definitely be supported. If it's accessible to you, going to the ocean. If you are in a place that's chillier, staying home, but like staying maybe in an altar or sacred space, but really just, light a candle. Just be intentional with the fact that like this is a really highly magical manifestation portal, and you are so deserving of calling in what it is that you want. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. But enjoy the journey there. Don't wait until you get there to celebrate. Celebrate now. Live in the end. Live as if it's already yours, because it is. Every reality already exists. Every version of you already exists. And the version of you that's conquered all of this shit that you're going through right now is alive and well and within you already. And like holding, like literally supporting you, rooting for you on the other side of the veil. So not to get too like, whoa, but the you that has made it already exists and is supporting you, is rooting for you alongside the universe and a divine team of guides. So you are supported. I am so excited to see everyone really plant these seeds this week. Tomorrow, especially, like I said, it's at midnight tonight, so tomorrow. But really be intentional with this energy, because it's yours, honestly. It's such a huge portal. With Pluto, you can really step out on the other side of this, an even better version of yourself. And that's all we really are trying to do, right? Just continuing to evolve. So I love you. I'm sending all of my love to you. On Wednesday, I'm doing a new moon ceremony that you can absolutely join if you feel called to. There'll be tarot, there'll be astrology, there'll be Reiki, and all of the things. You can DM me if you want to know more information about that. But otherwise, yeah, have an amazing, amazing week and really work with this lunar transit. It's so powerful. Okay. Bye, guys.